Good day to you all. I hope this finds you well. Before I continue with the agenda of the day, I'd like you to please subscribe on my YouTube channel and hit the bell button so that each time when we drop you can be the first to get the content of the day. And again, do not forget to hit that like, comment and share button. Thank you.
Can we pause there?
Yeah.
The different role players in one radio show that we know, if you don't mind educating us.
Well, you've got the DJ, the host.
Sure.
That's your first voice.
Yeah.
That's the person who talks first after a song or before an advert.
Yeah.
They do the live reads. They're the lead voice on the show.
Yeah.
Then you've got second voice, which would be the co-host.
Okay.
Then you might have a third voice. That person would come in and do, for example, traffic or entertainment news or these little tidbits, not for the full hour every time they speak.
Okay.
So if I were first voice and you were second voice right now, I would announce the song that played and then I would throw it to you and say, Penwa, what do you think of that track?
Sure.
Then you come in and you say, that track is kak.
Sure.
You understand? Bese ngena lo munye ke with traffic to say, you guys ngani mapiano mina ngithanda igqom because I'm stuck in 2016. Let me read this traffic, yo. Then I play the traffic thing, that person goes in. So there's a structure and a flow that you work out. Then you've got your content producer. That's the person who prepares a document which will have what are we speaking about today, what competitions are happening on the show, what guests are coming on the show.
They create that themselves. Or do you
they
influence
create
it
around you? So, for example, if Warras is doing the show, I'm not trying to talk about the situation with the water and sanitation department.
Sure.
No. You're going to put some shit in there for me. It must be something that suits my personality.
Okay.
At 5FM, like something that was uniquely mine was that slut bags thing.
Okay.
Where I said the club is full of girls, there are slut bags. Yeah, but it was a word I created. I got into trouble at the PCCSA.
Sure.
But that shit went viral. It was fantastic, you know?
And it's uniquely you.
It's uniquely me.
Okay.
And my producer at the time, Catherine Grenfell, she knew exactly how to give me uniquely me content.
Okay.
That's why your faves sound like they sound.
Okay.
When you think Umuntu is unique, you know?
Okay.
Basically, a technical producer. That's the person who chops up all of the funny moments and shit we have on the show. They'll cut it up into small audio bits that we play throughout the day, almost like an advert for the show. Then you've got the boss. The boss would be the programs manager. It's that person's responsibility to listen how this whole thing comes together. When it's sounding kak is when Warras is the first voice, but Penwell is also the first voice.
Okay.
Many shows like that. If you think about it on radio, everyone is a boss. And you're like, who's the host here? You see? So mina ngiyangena ngithi hey guys nge-weekend yazi besiphuzana mfana besiphuza ivev. Yabo bese ngena wena and you're like ha lutho mfana thina besiphuza ace of spade. Then it's like, oh, is this one telling a story? Kudlula this one story.
Sure.
Bese ngena lo wesithathu and they're like, hayi thina yazi besiphuza umchamo. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Then the story just gets out of control because now the first voice has to come back to kind of add to what they've already said. And then that one wants to add that one. The link ends up being 12 minutes of nothing.
Sure.
Because everyone is trying to ride on top of everyone to make it seem like I'm in charge. That's where there's a problem. Your program manager must step in.
Okay.
Or the opposite applies. I say something and then I throw it to you and you perhaps agree with everything I say.
Yeah.
You don't have to. The way that we're supposed to structure the show, for example, me and Nomalanga, there's a lot of things me and Nomalanga agree on. There's also a lot of things we don't agree on. But sometimes, even on the subjects we do agree on, I need to trust Nomalanga to have the level of intellect where she can confidently disagree with me without making herself a boost. And also still making my point. You understand? Where you're disagreeing, but you're disagreeing with facts.
Yeah.
And it's an argument that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that we can give the listener both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
So must City phone us or send us a voice note. We get opposing views.
Sure.
That's something that's also missing from radio. You know what I mean? You'll have the boss there that's in charge and then all these other fucking clowns that are scared to say anything.
The boss is the programs manager.
The boss is the host of the show.
Oh, okay. The first voice. Okay.
Yeah, there's the first voice. There's some first voice big bosses in South Africa and then there's also just others that are.
And then everyone kind of follows him. So the programs manager, technical producer, content producer.
Sure. Your traffic person, like third voice sometimes, and then you've got your first and second voice.
This is a team of a radio show.
This is a team of a radio show.
Okay.
You can take away second voice, you still have the same structure.
Okay.
Technical, content, host, programs manager. You can take away your third voice person and you just have two people bouncing stuff off each other. Njengabo, like Naked and Lulo used to do a show. They don't need all that technical stuff at that time of the night. They pre-package it. So that when they say, yo, we've got a mix now from DJ Penwell, that thing is pre-packaged. They know what's coming up on the show. Somebody plans it. Naked is an excellent content producer. He does it for the morning show as well.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
So you come in from MacG, you said 12
to 3, yeah.
12
midday,
to 3.
Yeah.
How's the money now?
Prime mode. The money was nice there. It was like 25.
Hey!
For me at the time, 25 was nice. And I was making like maybe 40, 50 from gigs.
From gigs.
Yeah.
And now you're getting to live more of a life you want.
Now you're living, yeah. Yeah, and I only had one child, and he was small. He wasn't in school yet. Now I can't get to live. I can't get to travel.
Okay. So it's that. Is it called the midday slot?
Yeah, that's the midday slot. Prime mode.
And then you said from there you went to drive time. This is all on Y.
All on Y.
Okay.
In 6 years. Then when I went to
that's quite impressive. I wanted to ask a question before we get to prime time. Or drive time rather. All of this stuff you're mentioning, the different voices, the content, the technical, these things are meant to be taught. Because I'm just trying to figure out that if you're being brought in as someone who's not been taught radio, if you're not smart enough to catch things and flow as you struggle.
I'm taking off my jacket. Don't be alarmed. In edit, you can add sound effects.
This guy who turned the radio, jeez.
Full disclosure, I didn't come to the studio with any girls. I brought my young man.
Jeez, full disclosure.
Just in case people are watching and they say, how Warras in the studio?
So the people that aren't taught, they struggle. And I ask this because is it important for people to learn? And do you think the radio stations are doing enough to actually upskill? Because I'll speak about, I don't know their story, but you had a situation of Dineo Ranaka and Sol Penduga.
I don't know it to the full extent.
No, I don't know anything. Yeah. I'm using them as an example. So Sol was coming from Podcast and Chill. He'd been in radio before, I think with Fresh.
Yeah, he co-hosted with Fresh.
But he comes through and Dineo was leading and Sol is support. And a lot of the fans of Sol from Podcast and Chill are upset because they're like, but why is Sol not? And it's like, no, there's actually a way that radio's done and we don't know.
So, okay. You've hit the nail on the head.
So this becomes an educational moment.
Dineo is a legend. Let's get that straight. Whatever problems she has or issues that people feel she has, obviously you can't do a show to the best of your ability. If you've got whatever issues that are ailing you, right? But Dineo knows how to do a radio show.
And she's amazing.
Dineo is first voice material. She's not a co-host.
Okay.
So Mina, in my personal opinion, there's no way you can put Dineo as a co-host with someone.
Okay.
That's okay. Let's call that Kaya's first mistake, if you want, for the fans who hate it. And for the ones who love it, they know what I'm saying. Kaya made the right choice because Dineo can carry a radio show on her own. Sol has always been a co-host. Sol is not a first voice guy, but Sol is arguably the best co-host I can think of off the top of my head. When he co-hosts, because he comes in with these he's extremely witty. So not an idiot. Very smart. He's very witty. And no matter what you say, he knows how to pick up on it. I've never heard it. Sometimes you'll be listening to a show and the host will say something and then it'll be like, yes, what, boom, boom, and then the person that they throw it to is like, yo, weekend, what are you going to do? Like, what the fuck? You've just thrown this guy something he can't catch. There's nothing. I've never heard Sol not catch something. So he co-hosted with Fresh. Even at Y, when he was at Y, he came to the Y Academy. And he did the, what do you call this? The training shows by himself. He didn't do a show on his own as far as I recall. So as a co-host, he really found his place. You understand? And Fresh saw it. I mean, Fresh is also not a knob, bro. Fresh knows talent when he sees it. He then found it with MacG. I think he's a brilliant addition to Podcast and Chill. And I've been on that show, I've been there before Sol was even there. You understand? So here he comes into Kaya. Super addition to the lineup. As I say, Dineo is a first voice. She's not a co-host. ayikho indlela nje ukuthi uzofaka usol abe first voice when he's never been a first voice before on a massive breakfast show. I don't think Sol even wants that. I refuse to believe that Sol, if Kaya had to say, yo son, Dineo's fired, you're taking over, so he would say no.
Hey, please get another person.
Put me with the first voice.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I hear you.
Even you listen to Skumba and Bad Boy T are together. Can't put Skumba by himself.
Sure.
Let Bad Boy T run. Bad Boy T is a first voice.
Sure.
You can't put Bad Boy T on as a second.
Sure.
Doesn't matter what show. So for me, that structure that Kaya found, because I understand the back end of radio, I don't see it working any other way. But Podcast and Chill is a massive audience.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's strength in numbers.
Of course.
You see, so you've got the public opinion. And the public opinion is always going to be heavy. Twitter's going to say, put Sol, put Sol, put Sol.
Of course.
But no program's manager in his right mind is going to do that because he knows that Sol is strongest as a supporting player. You understand? He is crossing the balls in, he's not heading them home.
Yeah. Who's responsible?